next guest believes midlife isn't the end. It's the portal to new beginnings, and I could not agree more. Hi, and welcome to the You World Order Showcase podcast, where we feature life health transformational coaches and spiritual entrepreneurs being the change they seek in the world. I'm your host, Jill Hart, the coach's alchemist, on a mission to help coaches and entrepreneurs amplify their voice, monetize their mission, and get visible, leveraging podcasts and the huge audience we have over on the Gnostic TV network. Today, we are chatting with Lauren G. Foster, worker of everyday magic, guiding midlife women on their ancestral path to health, happiness, and freedom. Welcome to the show. It's great to
Thank,
have you here, Lauren.
thank you, Jill, so much for having me. I'm absolutely thrilled and already having fun talking with you.
Yeah. And you're in a great place right now. And I appreciate you staying up till 9:30 to have this conversation with me.
Totally my pleasure. I'm very, very happy to be here.
All right. So I'm going to ask you the big question. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
What's the most significant thing, in your opinion, as individuals, we can do to make an impact on how the world is going?
If you ask me this a different day, I will have a different answer. But today, my answer is to stop measuring success by material things and begin to measure it by the amount of love and compassion and kindness and joy you have in your life. If I could go on just a little bit
Yeah,
longer here,
go for it.
this is a significant day in Italy. It's their Independence Day, which came about at the end of World War II. So it's young. Their freedom is still young and fresh. And it was also when women first were able to vote. And I think that every single citizen of Bologna was out on the streets today. It was jam-packed, every surface. I mean, just jam-packed and singing at the top of their lungs and jumping up and down. And I usually don't like to be in big crowds, like people rushing to work and things like that. I'm just like, get me out of here. And I loved every second of it. It was just so full of joy and celebration. And if we had more moments like that, that represented what success means, the world would switch itself around pretty quickly.
I think that's very true. I was listening to somebody a while back, and they were talking about ideas for giving gifts in terms of giving experiences rather than things, which I think kind of blends into what the point that you're making, that experiences are far more valuable to us as human beings than stuff.
Yeah, yeah, I agree.
Mhm.
And the second layer of that is really getting to know one another and knowing what someone really wants. I mean, what if you gave an afternoon of babysitting to your friend who just wanted an afternoon to herself? I mean, what a gift,
Mhm.
a small thing, a few hours of your time, but what she can do with that free time on her own to do whatever she wants.
To reconnect with herself. And often, I'm going to travel in a different direction here for just a minute, but it used to be that we lived in communities and we all knew each other, and you raised your kids, but if your kids were misbehaving, the person down the street's going to discipline them just as fast as you will, or you will do the same for their kids that are playing in your yard. Houses were open, moms were engaged, they helped each other, and if you needed an afternoon off, somebody on the street was going to take your kids in and give you a break. But now it's like everybody has to be the best at everything. I have to be the best mom and the best girlfriend and the best wife and the best business person and the best everything. And it's just so exhausting because nobody is all of that. And the 80s were the worst for that, I think. Young women in the 80s, it was really tough because you were expected to be everything for everybody, and it didn't matter what you were feeling or your opinions or your thoughts, you just had to do it.
And those of us who were in our 20s in the 80s got that imprinted on us and many of us are still trying to shed that and trying to
Mhm.
figure out a different way. And that's what my work is all about. So, um, oh, I guess I should wait for a question.
Oh, tell us about it. I'm we're just having
Okay.
a conversation.
Oh, gotcha.
Don't
Okay. So
depend on me to ask questions.
okay. So I will be turning 60 in August on my next birthday. And last year, I decided to sell or give away everything and begin traveling the world and just seeing all of the things that I want to see and having the experiences, and mainly to inform my work because I lived as a hermit in a cabin in the mountains for 10 years before that. And, I was building this business and doing this work with women and people. Um, Women and
Men.
doing this business with people, usually women.
Okay.
That sounded like I was implying that men aren't people, or that women aren't, or something like that. Um, but it began to be really clear to me that I was getting out of touch. I was living in this world that was so perfect because there were, when there aren't other humans around, your challenges are much less. It's very easy to be serene and zen when you live with dogs and cats and squirrels and trees, right?
Mhm.
Um, so I decided to go out on this adventure around the globe to see how women are connecting with themselves and connecting with spirit and connecting with one another and engaging with life and, trying to find the magic and exploring the ways that are lost because we came in and rubber stamped it with the way we elite white Christian people decided the world should be. Um, not to, I really tried hard not to disrespect any faith path or anything like that, but it's just a fact that colonization happens everywhere, and the indigenous people and their traditions are the ones that suffer. And
Oh, for sure.
yeah, there's so much wisdom in those ancient teachings, and that's part of what I'm exploring. But the root of my message is that not every woman wants to sell everything and travel the world. So, but my version of freedom doesn't look like everyone's, but every woman has her version of freedom, of being able to be fully herself and do the things that she wants to do and express herself the way that she feels called to.
Mhm.
And that's my heart joy is helping her find that path and fall back in love with her body and have the confidence and the courage to go after the things that she wants and to stand up and ask for life to give her her heart's desire. So
I love that. I love that for women because, especially women in our age group that went through a time where we were told that we were supposed to look a certain way, and that way was generally like little boys. Full-grown women were expected to look like young men. I know it sounds weird, but the whole Twiggy thing, you didn't have a body. You were just if you had boobs, that they were usually implanted in you because you had no body fat and expected to do all the things. And it was just not a it's not a healthy way to move into womanhood. And there were a lot of women who were just like told not to have children and not to embrace being a parent. And it's not that being a parent or being a mother is like the be all and end all for women, because it's not. I know a lot of women who never wanted to have children and they didn't, and they have experienced amazing lives. But the whole idea of you have to conform, you have to have a mission and you have to know what it is when you're 20. It's just like, why? Why did we do that to these people? And then we've aged and we have developed bodies, and our bodies are, lots of different shapes. And they're healthy bodies. I mean, I have a perfectly healthy body,
hopefully
and
hopefully
right.
they're healthy bodies, but a lot of us, yeah, that's a whole other subject. But yeah, being asked to force our bodies into some ideal of the standard of beauty that's popular at the time,
Mhm.
right? And getting butt implants or, you know,
Or their lip thing, or just like all of these things that women have done to their bodies to mutilate them, to make them fit some standard of look that, it's like, why?
yeah, I was in that trap. So up until up until my late 40s, I was still, dieting and well, I actually kind of fell into a healthier lifestyle as far as food goes, kind of
Mhm.
happily. by accident, but still critical of my body, still trying to make it into a certain shape, a certain size. I had plastic surgery in my 30s and a whole lifetime of not being friends with this magical suit that I get to wear around on the earth.
Yeah. And I was laughing with my sister the other day about, trying to get back to some ideal weight that we were when we were really young. She's like, well, yeah, I want to get back to 1 pound, 6 ounces. Why not? It's an arbitrary number, just like whatever that number was that you weren't happy with at the time anyway, when you were
Exactly.
in your 20s. I was just like, it's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. And so that so many things that so many arbitrary outside of us factors that we use to judge our worth, to judge our beauty, to judge ourselves in 1,000 different ways that have no validity. And coming back to the truth that we are innately worthy and
Mhm.
sovereign and amazing, and brilliant, each and every one of us. That's my answer to how we have the biggest impact on the world is for all women to be empowered.
Yeah. And to
So,
love themselves and to just be who they are. If you're loud and brash, be loud and brash. If you're quiet and withdrawn, be quiet and withdrawn. If you're like, if you want to help people, help people. But if you feel like you have to help people, stop it.
yeah. So obligations and responsibilities and boxes that we try to fit ourselves in our whole lives. And at some point it almost becomes that we can't even tell. We're like, I don't even know which parts of myself I lost and
Mhm.
abandoned in favor of trying to be this. And so it's kind of a battle. It's kind of a struggle to unshovel and get down through all of those layers of society that we've put on top of ourselves and get back to the heart of who we are. But it's a journey that's so worth it. And yeah, and yeah, it's what I want. It's what I want for all of us.
So, how did you start the traveling portion of your experience? You started to talk about that a little bit. There was a point where you were living on your own. What precipitated the going out and living by yourself?
Well, okay, let's see if I can how quickly I can sum up my life. As an early teen, I was in love with God and the church and wanted to be a missionary.
Mhm.
As a late teen, I got different messages. Oh, you're a sinner. Oh, your body's bad. Oh, your desire for sex and experimentation in life is bad. And oh, your makeup is going to make somebody lust. And so I got it into my head that I wasn't worthy of God. So I went off and lived the next decades of my life spiritless and disconnected and feeling unworthy and, doing
Mhm.
all the things, numbing with drugs and alcohol and all the blah, 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 blah. Um, and when I was 42, I had an accidental pregnancy, which I was actually happy about because I thought that life didn't work out that I'm going to have kids, but maybe
Mhm.
now it is. But I had a miscarriage, and so that was kind of a yet another self-sabotage crash and burn point in my life.
Mhm.
I lost my cushy job because I had a DUI. So I sold everything. Do you see the pattern? I
Yeah.
I sold everything and decided to head off to Guatemala and just go on sabbatical and do what I'm doing now.
Mhm.
But very quickly, my drug addicted brother, my mother who's elderly and in bad health, and basically my family said, "You're needed, come home." So I cut that short and came home and bought a day spa. The economy crashed unbeknownst to me while I was off
Mhm.
in Guatemala. And I bought a day spa, and the economy could not support a day spa. So by 2010, I was bankrupt. I was sleeping on my sister's couch, and my mom was in a state-run nursing home because nobody could afford to help her pay for it. My brother died from his disease anyway. So I had
Mhm.
been using the law of attraction and mind over matter and all these things to try to fix everybody, and I didn't fix anyone. And but depleted my own resources and
Mhm.
was left with nothing. And at that point, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to just give everybody over to their own power and trust that they can figure it out. And I'm going to go take care of myself. And so I headed off into the mountains of East Tennessee and eventually landed in a little cabin and spent 10 years there. And it didn't really mean for it to be 10 years, but that's how it worked out. And that was
Mhm.
the amount of time I needed to come back to myself and figure out who I am and, shed all of those layers of obligation and responsibility and conforming and all of that, and then be equipped to come back out in the world again.
And now you're traveling the world. You've got so many cool things lined up.
Yeah, I have been to 11 countries already. And my intention is to keep traveling until I fall in love with something or someone or some place.
Mhm.
But at the same time, a picture's forming in my mind of the little spiritual center that I want to create somewhere on this beautiful planet, and the service that I want to do, and bring women from all over the globe to experience nature and real food and getting in touch with their bodies and getting in touch with their spirits, and you know emerging with a better handle on their dreams.
I love that. I'm over here thinking there's somebody that I need to connect you with in New Zealand.
Okay, do
Don't let me forget to tell you.
okay.
Because I know you're going there and yeah.
That's my favorite. I'm always asking, tell me who your friends are and where they are, and I'll go see them. I can go anywhere I want in this world. And if you have recommendations, I love to hear them because it's fantastic. Another
Well,
really, go ahead, sorry.
I'll tell you, it's Carmel Riley, and she's an Indigenous woman in New Zealand who is creating a retreat center for women to do exactly what you're talking about doing. She has it on I think it's on native land. It's a beautiful resort. I've seen the mock-ups and everything that they're working on. Um, she's an incredible manifester. She's very much a woman who is like moving into midlife, grabbing it with both horns and just going for it.
Oh, I
Just
would.
she's an incredible woman. And
So
I
she's
know that the connection
Maori.
of you two would Carmel Riley.
She's Maori.
Mhm.
Oh, I would love that so very much. That's one of my goals, is to get to integrate, or to get to meet and spend time with the Indigenous people of New Zealand. And that's one of the reasons that I wanted to go to New Zealand, is because they're one of the countries that still, their Indigenous people still have a presence and a voice,
Yes.
and yeah, so yay, that's fantastic. I'm very much looking forward to getting to know her. That's cool. Um, I think I was going to say something, but it's gone from my head. That's what happens at 9:58.
Well, I'll ask you the question then. How are you coaching people and how does all of that look? Is it like one-on-one? Is it group? Is it just, how does it look?
Currently, I am working towards a group coaching program and kind of letting that evolve as like a
Mhm.
sacred circle. My current program is one-on-one. I like to call it a circle of two, right?
Okay.
It's called the Ancestral Path because it is about the ancestral way of being with your body, the primal lifestyle of, how you eat and how you move, and um, intuition with your body, and also ancient practices like magic and being in touch with the land and being grounded in your own energy and the wisdom of our ancestors that we've let go. We started thinking up here, and everything below the earth is not respected. Our bodies are not respected. So the ancestral path brings all of that back together, and it incorporates all of the accumulation of the things that I've studied. I studied with Mary Morrissey as a life mastery consultant and
Mhm.
dream coach, and I'm a primal health coach, and I'm a certified meditation teacher, and I'm in the study of qigong, and so I have all of these different aspects that I've studied and incorporated, and they're all tools that we get to use in this sacred circle. That's either a 6-week or a 12-week program, depending on how much you want to look ahead and how fast you want to go. And it's a really lovely, beautiful, very custom program.
Oh, I love that. Are you on Substack?
Yes.
Because I thought we were connecting over there. And do you know what your Substack link is?
Everyday Magic. Mm, yeah, that's the name of the publication. Um,
Everyday Magic
Everyday Magic, yeah.
dot
And
Substack.
I believe you.
Okay, we'll go with that. And if it's not that, I'll make sure that I put it the right one in in the show notes. But it's easy to find Lauren over on Substack and to interact with her and to watch her adventures and stuff because
Yeah,
I love
trying my best to be present as I can there and keep up with all the stories. And there's a whole lot of things that we do, free things. We have a Fierce and Free Women's Circle on Wednesdays. That's, just for us to get together and support each other and, uplift and magnify each other's brilliance. And, I teach a little bit, but mostly it's we teach each other and we support each other. And what else was I going to say? I don't know. It's gone again.
You're good. And you do offer a free clarity call for people that
Yeah.
they can talk to you about whatever they've got going on in their life and you guys can feel each other's vibe and see if
Yeah.
working with you is the next step or what the next step really would be for them.
Yeah, exactly. And it really is truly a clarity call because a lot of times people are like, I know there's something. I know that there's more than this. I know that I'm meant to feel better, feel
Hmm.
bigger, feel something different. But you
Feel sometimes.
Yes. Yeah, and you can't quite put your finger on what it is. And that's one of the gifts that I have is helping you ask the right questions of yourself to, get to the heart of what your real desires are. And, help you be with your feelings in a way that is empowering and, so we don't have to numb or avoid or distract anymore, that we can be comfortable with ourselves in every moment.
Yes. That's got to be helpful to so many people that are just like they know there's more, but they really just don't know how to get to the more. They don't even know where the door is to the more.
Right? Which one do I even knock on? Right? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And people can find you at everydaymagic.substack.com. We're pretty sure, but we will
My
be
website
certain once we
is
publish this.
great.
And also at laurengfoster.com. Correct.
That's correct. Yeah. And the
Perfect.
G is very important. If you go Googling me, if you put in Lauren Foster, you will get lots of different amazing characters, but not me.
So don't forget the G.
Don't forget the G, right?
Thanks so much for joining us today, Lauren. This has been a great conversation.
Thank you for having me. I enjoyed it very much.
To learn more about working with Lauren and booking a free chat with her to discuss bringing more magic into your life, visit www.laurengfoster.com. And we'll be sure to put all these links in the show notes below. Thank you for tuning in with us today. If you have a podcast or you're interested in starting one to get your message in front of our huge and active audience, be sure to reach out to us at jill@gnostictv.com. We love to help spiritual entrepreneurs and coaches amplify their voice and monetize their mission and offer a variety of ways to do this on the Gnostic TV network platform. Join us for our next episode as we share what others are doing to raise the global frequency. And remember, change begins with you. You have all the power to change the world. Start today and get visible.